What is going on, everyone? Happy Sunday to everyone who's here. We are back, and we are going to try to finalize these All Madden sliders today, as we made great progress yesterday. We locked in the All Pro slider set, and we left the stream, 4-hour stream, with some optimism with the All Madden competitive set. And we're gonna just continue to let some things ride out, man. We gotta get more gameplay. No changes. The big thing yesterday, after a lot of testing of pass coverage, pass reaction, and then different levels of the DPI, was ultimately that DPI had the largest impact. And finding balance there seems to be the key. And so I updated my file with the changes that we had in the end of the Ravens game yesterday, where they ran it more times than they threw it. Granted, it was a rain game. I don't know if that has any impact or not on run pass ratio. But looking at the schedule for the Browns, and it looks like we have some good teams to test this out on without making any changes, because we have to allow for some anomalies. And so we know we had potentially an anomaly. Now these scores aren't correct because I went back to my other file, but we had potentially an anomaly in the Ravens game where they ran it more than they threw it. So we're going to skip the Raiders, we're going to run against the Titans, run against the 49ers, we're going to skip the Titans, and then we're going to finish off with all four of these, with the Bengals being the final boss, fittingly the last team on the schedule, because we know the Bengals have the worst run pass ratio in Madden. They have for years. Don't know why. But we got to give the current setup a couple games before we make any changes, to see completion percentage, run pass ratio, etc., etc. There's potentially anomalies, and honestly, the Ravens game could have been an anomaly that we like, the high rushing attempts. So we're just gonna do a couple defensive only to get a feel. Like, are we getting overall what we're looking for? Again, if Brock Purdy comes out in his 84% completion percentage, does that mean we need to make a change? No, not necessarily. Because the very next, Lamar was just at 62%. We have to allow variables and anomalies to occur. One thing we do want to try to see consistent is rushing attempts and some rushing success from the CPU. That's the main thing we would like to see. Completion percentages, we're going to let there be some variables happen. What kind of helmet do they have here? Just those two. All right. We need to rock the orange tops here. Doesn't really matter. We're just gonna go custom home. We have an orange jersey anyway. They don't have an orange jersey? Man, the Browns are really failing by not having an orange alternate, in my opinion. Because we get them for pants, but we don't get them for... Man, they're missing out here. I think that's a miss. Alright, anyway. Let's go full screen. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Do appreciate when you guys interact with the stream, chat, say what's up, because I'm just playing defense only, and I'm just going to be running coach suggestions just to get through games a little bit faster. I'll throw some stunts in there for the most part. Oh, we get another rain game. I mean, I'm not going to complain, because this is a great way to test the movement sliders that are in play, and just some other things in the rain. And I will say EA did a really, really good job with the rain games this year. I wish they did more with the jersey and field degradation, but maybe that'll be something for 27. But as far as the atmosphere and look of rain, I think it's fantastic. Obviously we know they got their Blizzard snow game, looks really, really good. Their regular snow game though, I wish they made it look more like college football 26's snow games. Just want to point out here, every time we get a play, our first play is always a 4-3 over cover 3. That's the play it suggests to us every game, first play. Really need the AI to expand on that. We get a play action with Purdy. And there we go. And that's a good play action throw. Push the ball down the field, not checking down. We have to allow for some variables to occur. There's a run. I like it. I think we're really close, you guys. I mean, I honestly think that we could be looking at the final setup with small tweaks available for those who need it. And I'll cover those, of course, in the slider video based on some things that we learned through this whole process. Do I want to blitz? We're going to blitz. We'll play line of scrimmage. We'll blitz just one guy. Good pocket and pass breakup. Hey, man. This is a good test, I think. Like, Lamar's a scrambler type, you know, getting seeing these different quarterbacks and how they're going to play with different ratings, different traits. That is a really good looking pocket. I'm not mad at this at all. And he could have maybe taken a shot, like one up over the top over here to Kershaw. But I like that he stepped up. I wish they'd clean up the step up in these games from quarterbacks, but I like that he stepped up instead of going backwards further. Good pocket, got pressure without a shed. This is important to me. And I need this to happen for the CPU against the user on offense as well, when the user's on offense. But look at Barrett driving the tackle into Purdy. That's pressure without a shed. That's important. And I think EA needs to focus a lot on those types of pressures. Driving guys in, collapsing the pocket in around the quarterback. Step up, throw, pass breakup. It's lagging. Not again. I didn't change anything from yesterday. We should be good. Maybe we're not good. Checking the internet right now. I appreciate you letting me know, but god dang, I don't understand why I'd be lagging. In spurts? Ooh. Yeah, I'm actually showing some issues, connectivity issues. What? Like, I'm literally trying to run a speed test on my computer, and it's struggling to do it. But I can speed test on my phone. There it goes. Now it's kicking in. Really slow, though. I ran a speed test on my computer, and it was pulling 6 megabytes a second. Granted, I have 2 gigabyte speed that I pay for. So normally I'm a lot higher than that. On my phone, on my speed test on my phone, I'm pulling 120 upload speed right now, but my computer's struggling right now. What is going on here? I think it might just be my computer. Internet's good on my speed test on my phone. I wonder if it'll just kind of figure itself out. I need to look at it on my end, like on my actual. You're on your phone? No, I appreciate you letting me know, because I don't know if it lags or not. When I switch to Streamlabs, I don't have it up like I used to. When I switch to Streamlabs, I don't have it up like I used to. I looked fine on my end. Anybody else having issues with it lagging? I just pulled up the last like 20 seconds so you guys could hear it. Let me see if anybody else has any issues. Anyway, that was a really nice play. I didn't see any just now when I looked personally, so I'll see if anybody else is having some lagging issues. I know what the issue was yesterday and we got it fixed. Nothing was changed, so let's continue. And if anybody else is having, yeah, it'll translate. I mean, if I am indeed lagging. We currently have 22 viewers in here. Can anybody else let me know if there's like a stutter or a lag, please? Good run. I ran it 3 times already. They're gonna run this here too. They're gonna go play action. Good run. Good cut. Good, got 4 for 15 early. And another run. And we do have a good front 4, so we're not really expecting them to go crazy, but we want them to be over 3, between 3 and 4 at minimum. Another run. Oh, there we go. Well, there we go. Bottom up, bottom up, bottom up, bottom up, and then boom. Breaks a big one. 6 for 30. And another run. Yo. Another, okay. goodness gracious, man. Dude, get a sub in here. Where's their backup? McCaffrey's just going to be exhausted here. Another, oh my goodness, you guys. 9 for 54. Here I'm talking about we got a good defense, shouldn't expect them to run the ball that well, and they're just running it down our throats. Another, okay. I mean, now we're selling out. We gotta sell it to stop the run. That's gonna open up the pass. This is unreal. Good defense, but this is unbelievable, you guys. This is better than I was hoping for. Read option, that's a run. Colt 45, I broke it. Yeah, bro, I saw your message before I went live, and that was a different experience than what I had. I mean, I need to play some more, as well as, you know, some of the other feedback, because other people said that they were getting the CPU running like crazy too. I don't know if it's one of those just first game after making a change type of thing, but I don't know if I've ever seen a team run it this many times in the first quarter. Yo, Colt, am I lagging, by the way? Appreciate you coming through. Delmont said that I'm lagging, but he's the only person who said anything, so I don't know if I truly am lagging for everyone or if it's just like on his end. Bro. You're not getting lag? Okay, thank you. I didn't either when I checked, but I did have lag yesterday, and so I wanted to check. Good pass breakup. Alright, we got a 3rd and 10. We are going to blitz. We're going to throw in a little bit of a... I love this stunt up the middle. But dropping Myles Garrett into coverage on the 3rd and 10, probably not. He slipped. Not the best play call if we're dropping Myles Garrett into coverage. All right, we got a couple people joining us here. I'm going to pause because we're playing... we're through the first quarter, so I'm going to continue the next moment because we're playing defense only. But I'm going to show you guys their stats through the first quarter. Brock Purdy 71%. We're fine with that. But this is where you guys, if you're just joining, what we've been working on, where I think we're making some huge strides. Purdy 5 for 7. He didn't throw that much. Let's just go to the 49ers. Rushing. McCaffrey 11 for 61. And Purdy had 1, and it was a designed run. So they had 12 rush attempts to 7 pass attempts in the first quarter. I have never, ever this year, I don't remember the last time I had a Madden where I saw that many rush attempts. Oh my God, there he goes. I mean, it's probably been a decade. And they're still running it. And I can't stop it. Unless I go up here and I blitz, and then it's going to open up the passing game. I don't know what to do to slow this down. Another run. Yo, I thought we were in heaven. We're going to double Kittle here. It seems like a good thing to do. Show cover 3. They're finally giving Robinson, we're finally giving McCaffrey a break. Here we go. Good pressure. That's a sack. let's say this. We thought the Ravens game was good for running the football. They've already got half as many attempts as the Ravens did. And we're in the second quarter. Oh no. What? I thought we had the sack. I thought we had a sack here. Good pocket. Good pocket. And look at him. I literally thought he was going down right here. But Mason Graham runs into Myles Garrett. And Purdy slips, stands up, and floats one to Kittle. I'm not even mad at that. That was actually really cool. I can't be mad at that. Designed run, quarterback draw. That's going to be a run attempt because it was passed behind the line. We'll count that one as a pass just because we know what it was. But in the books, it's going to go as a run. Protect sticks. We're going to man up on these early downs just because they're running it so much. There's another one. Oh no. Y'all, this is the dream right here. There we go. Oh, is he house calling this? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They ran it on a RPO. Normally they always throw it. Oh, get him. Jeez. He's just slippery over here in the rain. Good D. Way to tighten it up, defense. I don't think I want to run goal line. I think I want to run a 46. And I probably should have ran goal line because they just walked it in. You guys. Stream is lagging. Oh, dang it. I don't know. I think it's just my... I don't know. I think it's honestly my computer because I did a stream test or a speed test on my phone and it was fine. And then I'm trying to do it honestly on my web browser and it was like not wanting to load, which I thought was weird. Do it again here. Doing a speed test on my PC where I'm streaming from and it won't load anything. So I think I'm having... Oh, there it kicked in finally. I'm hoping that the speed test like kicks in something because now it's pulling good speed on the download. We need the upload speed though. That's what matters for this. Yeah, now we're pulling really good upload speed. We should be fine now, hopefully. Let me know. It's no, I appreciate you letting me know, Smooth, because I'm trying to, you know, I don't want to, honestly, obviously I don't want it to be lagging and stuff. Oh, that was huge. That was a huge, we need to go, yeah, cover 2 drop. Why didn't they, all right, we're going to pause. We're going to look at their half stats, you guys. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this. We sacked him twice, I believe. So I think this is 12 pass attempts. He hasn't scrambled. So we'll call it, he's 8 for 10, but again, there's nothing wrong with his 8 out of 10. It's Brock Purdy, he does that. We're gonna, I mean, we gotta allow some anomalies. So I'm fine with that 8 for 10. It didn't feel robo quarterback at all. So I believe he's 12 pass attempts. I believe they have 12 pass attempts. These were 2 design runs. There was a read option and a quarterback drop. They have 24 designed run attempts at the half. This is all Madden, Smooth. We finalized the All Pro yesterday. We're trying to finalize the All Madden. I have never in my life, I don't even think one of my favorite Maddens of all time, gameplay-wise, Madden 25, the original, I don't think they ran it like this. These are numbers that you'd see rush attempts that if we got these for the game, I can tell you in my SGN league where it's CPU versus CPU, if we had these numbers for the game, people would be freaking out about how good of the run-pass ratio is. We just got this in a half. This is building upon how much the Ravens ran it yesterday. We got to go and verify the sacks just to make sure I got the actual pass attempts correct. I'm pretty sure we sacked him twice. Yep, so they've dropped back to pass it. In one, actually, it was 13 pass attempts because one of them was a swing pass that was behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to count as a rush, but it was really a pass. So really 13 pass attempts to 23 rush attempts. That's insane. You're using the All-Pro sliders for my slow sim. They play really good on slow sim. That's good to know because that's the next thing for me. Let's go ahead and continue here. That's a half, you guys. I don't have any issues with anybody catching the ball, man. I don't know. Don't have any issues with anybody catching the ball. I leave the catching on 50. And I don't use your catch. Let's get through this. We don't care. We want to get to the second half, y'all. McCaffrey's back. He had 13 carries, got hurt or whatever, sat out. Brian Robinson took over, got 9 carries, and now they're back giving McCaffrey the rock. I literally have to sell out. I can't even trust the CPU to call plays for me. I have to call my own plays to try to stop this running game here. Run play. Good defense. 3rd and 3. We're gonna double. We're gonna mid blitz it, y'all. We're gonna mid blitz it. I mean, I don't know if we've stopped them running the ball really yet. Oh no, no! He's gone. That's the risk. Wasn't the Browns' run defense really good in real life? Isn't the Browns defense what carried them this year to be in games? I know they beat the Packers because the Packers couldn't run the ball on them, and they tried. And didn't the Browns beat like the Bengals for the same thing? I literally thought the Browns had a good defense. That's what kept them in games. Oh, he dropped it. Rain effects. Alright, we're going to blitz here. We're going to show cover 2. They run a screen, okay. Oh, Myles Garrett almost got to him. Yeah, I'm gonna start calling my own plays, man. I was calling the coach suggested plays, but they just give you the same 15 plays over and over and over again. And when you're getting gashed on the ground like we are, I need to call some different things. Alright, we're gonna protect the sticks. There he scrambles. Oh my, he juked him out of his cleats. But we got the stop. Horrible punt. Holy smokes, there must be some crazy wind. Oh, play action. That had to be kind of a glitchy, something glitchy there, because they were all like clustered up. Alright. Our team's actually in this game. Good run. Good navigation. Way to get the first. We're going to go 5-2 here. We're just going to go 5-7. I don't know how to stop them, you guys. Without just blitzing up the middle. I don't know what to do to slow down their running game. I've never felt this helpless. Trying to stop the run. For the hole. Let's go. Got the stop. This is insane to me how much they're running at you guys. Again, part of it could be, bro, why are you, Delma, I appreciate you in the stream, but why are you watching a Madden stream if you're just gonna shit on it the whole time? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you were in Sim Football Critics stream yesterday doing the same thing. Like, if you hate the game so much, why are you watching streams of it? Like, I don't understand. I don't like Call of Duty anymore. I used to love it. I don't like Call of Duty anymore, so guess what? I stopped watching people playing Warzone in the Battle Royale because I just got sick of it. Couldn't handle it. I stopped watching it. It's just an easy thing. I mean, if you don't like the game, probably don't waste your time watching the game. Don't play it. You know? Believe me, there's things I dislike about this game. I've made plenty of videos on it. But there's things that I do like about the game too. And I want to have fun and enjoy the game, and I want to play football, and I got to make the most of what's available to me. Oh, good play. That's like the second or third stop run, like tackle for a loss we've had this game. We haven't had many. I mean, there's nothing you. I mean, if you're gonna complain about there's nothing you can do about the animations, bro. It's an animation-driven game. Like, I don't like it either, but that's what it is. But honestly, they have a good animation library. Like I said in the video that I made the other day, they just need to do some AI stuff, man. Oh, almost pulled that out of his hand. We're gonna go dime. We got some yard. I mean, yeah, they're gonna run this here. They're not gonna run a play. Oh, they are gonna run a play. We're getting overtime action. So we need to look at the stats before we have overtime. So through regulation, Brock Purdy's at 70. We'll call it 74%. That is, I'm perfectly fine with that. And every single one of you guys should be too. 14 of 19. I will take that all day. Considering we're on All Madden, considering quarterback accuracy for the CPU is at 50. Considering wide receiver catching for the CPU is at 50. Am I okay with the quarterback getting 73% completion? Absolutely I am. Bro, you do realize the EA wanted to open up the license, right? They came out and said they wanted to, and the NFL was the one who said, no, we are going to keep it exclusive. Either you sign exclusivity or we're going to sell it to somebody else. You do realize that, right? Every single run. Nope, one of these was a scramble. So they literally design run. That's 31, 33, 34 designed runs. I gotta screenshot this, man. I have seen in the CPU versus CPU world with the SGen League where we've had like 40 attempts. I have never had it when I'm playing against the computer. It is extremely rare. 19. Well, how many times did we sack him? Hold on. $21 pass attempts to 33 rush attempts? Like, come on. Nothing changes if you're using Classic. There's nothing to change. Let's see how many it ends up with once we finish overtime here. But we do need to establish regular season number or regular regulation numbers versus extra playtime with overtime. What I don't understand is why we can have these animations in overtime, but we can't just have it at the start of the game. Like, give us the option. It's in the game. Oh, there's our third sack. Now we'll sit back in coverage. He dropped it. That's a rain ball. That's a rain ball. I do like that we've seen 2 drops because of the rain. We're gonna play the sticks. Yikes. Alright, so this one passed the test. What I will say, I mean, this was the first time I've ever ran into this. I am going to make a change. Nothing really changed. I mean, they ran the ball, or they threw it a couple extra times. We're going to finish. We're going to continue. We're just going to continue to get looks. No changes other than there is going to be one thing I think I change. Based on that, what I noticed. And it's going to be with the wear and tear. And it's going to be the healing reserve pool skill. This is in-game healing. Because what I noticed is, like, McCaffrey ran. We got to like 13, 14 carries. Then Brian Robinson ran a bunch. Then McCaffrey came back in. Then he ran a little bit more. And then he was out. And so I think the reserve pool skill... The reserve pool scale needs to be higher because he just wasn't recovering enough. He was building up, like he wasn't getting rotated out from the tackle in the recovery, right? And then we had the timeouts or the quarter recoveries, etc., etc. He wasn't really recovering much there. I honestly think I'm going to flip these. Get a little bit extra. But I think we need to bump this up to like 60. We'll go there. I mean, I've never ran into this before. They never run the ball like that, so we never really knew. But I'm not playing what you're playing on, bro. So I don't have any issues with it. I'm fine with what I got going on here. We're gonna skip past the Titans. We're gonna play the Bears. But so far, holding up. We're not going to make any slider changes. We just did the wear and tear. I'm doing a quick speed test here because someone said I'm lagging again, which would be really weird considering before it made sense because my speed test numbers were just not very good. They are phenomenal right now. So I don't know why I'd be lagging. I know it's intermittent, so there's not much I can do. About to play against Iceman. Yeah, man, we're just gonna look to see more consistency. So those 2 rain games we had, it was interesting. Lamar was roughly 63%, and you know, Brock Purdy was down in the 60s too from the rain. Had a couple drops from the rain, some pass breakups, whatever. Both teams ran the ball over 30 times. Was it a rain only? Was that just a rain thing, or is that where we have things now? We're gonna find out as we play the Browns, the Bills. I mean, we got all these games that we're gonna just kind of play defense only, because everything else is good. It's just this. And this is the way we're gonna get extra looks. Gotta see how they hold up. Different different teams, different playbooks, different quarterbacks, different just everything. That's what we need to just verify that we're not getting, you know, fluke performances. The last drop seemed under. Yeah, that one did. It was almost like he turned to go upfield. But we've seen some. We get a snow game. Yo, we're getting some weather. This is my first weather game in Madden in a franchise. The only other weather I had was when I played the beta last year, and I was like playing everything in snow. This is my first snow game, period, this year in any franchise game. In my SGN, on my online league, the CPU versus CPU league, I haven't made it very far in my actual personal franchise. This is my personal franchise that is kind of converted into a test file, and I got a new one ready to rock and roll. We got the Blizzard one too. Once these are finalized, I got a new team ready to roll. Yeah, we got the Blizzard one. Let's go. I love what EA did with these. I do wish though that they like fixed some of the cutscenes for it, because there's really no point in showing these cutscenes if you can't see the players. Again, it's just one of those things that oh, let's go picked. I absolutely love the environment and the atmosphere of these games. It's just fixed some of the cutscenes. If EA could work on crowds, if they could get the atmosphere of college football, but the NFL version into, and see instant replays. Let's fix that a little bit. But just things to clean up for next year, for 27. Is just build upon it, you know? Did I change? No, it's just random. It's just a weather game. You can only change the weather when you're doing a play now game, like in the main menu. You have no control over the weather when it's a franchise. And we're going to sit in a lot of zone because it's weather. We don't want to be manned up or our guys could slip and fall. Good defense. Oh, we got to stay here. Stay in zone. Myles Garrett doing his thing, man. Let's go. Our defense is eating right now. Got an interception on Caleb. Got a sack on Caleb. Iceman's playing in the snow, and Not looking like he's a fan. Alright. 1-5-2 here. Again, we're gonna stay in as much zone as possible to try to prevent our guys slipping and falling. We got him pinned deep. That was a good run, though. I don't want to blitz here. We're going to try and cover 3. Oh! Oh! Why did we turn and not tackle him? 3rd and 1. This is where we're gonna be in man. Pinch. We stopped him. Let's go. Am I enjoying this as a Packers fan? I mean, you know, I'd prefer when it happens in real life. One thing that I can't figure out, right, because they're made by the same company, is, and I was noticing this because I was testing a little bit of the sliders in college football yesterday to see how these translate. And one thing's very clear, like, for whatever reason, you can easily see, just pause real quick. Shoot. I want to pause this, tell you guys, and then I'm going to go back at it. You can clearly see and read players' names in the back of their jerseys. But in college football, you can't. They're like, it's just tough to read. You notice that you can clearly see Swift, Williams, everything. College football, it's tough to read what their names are. That's going to count as a run. And I don't know why. Yo, Jay, what's going on, man? We're running exactly where we left things yesterday. We just had a rain game against the 49ers where they ran it 34 times. Now, they were successful running the football, whereas the Bears have not been. The Bears are trying to run the ball, but they have not had success, and so that can impact their continued attempts to run the ball. See, they're not getting any success here. I always felt like college football graphics were better than Madden. Identify? I felt like you go into the player edit screen or whatever, like those player models look really, really good. And I think the lighting looks better in college football. But for whatever reason, you can read the names on the back of players' jerseys in Madden and you can't in college football. And I don't know why. So yeah, they are unable to run the ball right now. And they're down 17-0. So this is going to be one of those anomaly games we talked about that we have to allow. They're still running it. Down 17-0. There they got to run with Swift. 5 for 4. And then they had their backup ran it. Caleb Williams ran it once or twice on designed runs. So again, haven't had a lot of plays. Haven't had any success running the ball. This is just going to be an anomaly game. And then you're down 17. You know? Yo, Lucas, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you coming through, buddy. How you feeling today? Now, they could have the Bears like the real-life Bears, right? Where they're absolutely dog water in the first half, and then the second half, they are just a completely different team. I mean, you never know, right? But that's why I said I wanted to get through several games without making any changes at all. Just to see, allow the anomalies, the rarities, whatever to play, to come through, and then kind of look at things as a whole and see how things are sitting. No slider changes from yesterday. Oh, we got rid of it. I thought we were sacking him. I like that they ran the ball right there. It's 6 for 11, and he just had 7 on that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. They have not been able to run the football. So they're not running it nearly as much, but ultimately they haven't had the ball that much either. So their run-pass ratio still isn't that bad, and those last 2 plays are going to help it. Let's take a look here. At the half, Caleb Williams, 66%. We're sitting in a good spot there. Only 6 pass attempts. They haven't had the ball much, you guys. I actually think we're going to be surprised at the run-pass ratio. 6 attempts. He did get... There was more attempts there because he was sacked 2 or 3 times. We'll find out actually first. We actually know. 2 sacks, both from Myles Garrett. So there was 8 pass attempts. Really 8 pass attempts. 7 rush attempts. 8 rushes here. 1 was a scramble. 1 was a design run. So they've actually, of their 17 plays, they ran it 9 through it 8. No, one of them was a swing pass that counts as a run that was actually a pass, right? So it was really the other way. 9 passes, 8 rush attempts. Either way, we'll take that all day. All these weather games after the slider change, I know. It's the end of the season, though, you know, so it kind of makes sense that we get rain in Baltimore. Makes sense. Rain in San Francisco. Makes sense. A snow game in December in Chicago. It makes sense. I think we're in December. And then remember, are we at the end of November? Either way, it makes sense for snow. And we got Pittsburgh up next, potential snow. Buffalo, most likely snow. Because these games are either going to be in Pittsburgh or Cleveland. Pittsburgh or Cleveland or Buffalo. And then we have another one against the Bengals. And I don't remember who the other one is. But we might get weather games in all of them. Alright, they're down 24-0. We will say the first half run pass ratio was pretty solid. And down 24-0, they're running the ball. Yo, C Money, what's up? Thank you for coming through over on Twitch, man. Appreciate you coming through. We are just testing the new ALL MADDEN sliders. Just trying to finalize some good pass break up there. We're honestly, I think the set's final. But it's just kind of just getting some more. I don't like that. Been a couple too many of those drops, and catching's at 50, so I might tweak the precipitation for catching a little bit. I do want some precipitation drops, but there's maybe just a few too many, and it's one of those things that's tough because you only get so many precipitation games to test it, right? So this is an extra benefit. We're gonna get a look at precipitation, and it's pretty clear we need to nerf the catching a little bit, or buff it, whatever you want to call it. Nerf the drops, buff the catching. There, down he goes, sack number 3. You don't have video showing? On Twitch, it doesn't show any video? That was a good pass breakup, knockout. I hope my Twitch ain't acting up. Ooh, that was a nice little move. You got me tripping that my Twitch isn't working. I hope that's not the case. Now I gotta pull it up and look. Why is there no... What's interesting... No, it's not just you. It is me too. What's interesting though is I'm doing nothing different from yesterday, and I could see my stream from yesterday. Like I went on Twitch to look because I was like, I'm not getting any Twitch viewers. And I went and I looked, and my stream from yesterday was I could watch it on Twitch, and I didn't change a thing. I can literally see my stream from yesterday with video. So that's really weird. You might want to switch to YouTube then. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on there. I have to Google it and figure it out. I'll Google it after this game. Probably not that I can change in the middle of the stream, but... And it might just be because of something with, you know, my internet was lagging a little bit to start. Yeah, we gotta fix the drops. Just a few too many. Oh, good run. Third and goal from the 5. I like that they ran it there. Down 31 in the 4th quarter, and they ran it. And got him again. Well, no, it doesn't happen, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not even going to control a player here. I'm going to Google it. I don't know, it's telling me to do all this stuff, but it worked yesterday, so I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna mess with the changes that it suggests. I didn't have to do it yesterday, it worked just fine yesterday. Yeah, there's a nice run. I'm excited to see how these look against the Steelers and the Bills and the Bengals for sure. Because so far, it's holding up. I mean, we're getting an anomaly game as far as, you know, the score, right? 31-0, CPU can't do anything offensively. Caleb hasn't been good. taking some sacks to an interception. It's starting to, King. Like I said, you might not have been here. Oh, big play. I actually created a new franchise. Because this was my franchise, but I hadn't done anything with it in months. Because I had lost my joy for the game. And I didn't want to play it. Because the CPU was not running the ball. You're just playing against passes the whole time. And when they did run the ball, they were getting nothing. You know, 1 yard a carry. This has definitely fixed that, changed that. And so I do want to play. But this turned into a big, you know, test franchise file. So I'm like going through the season with this, but I did start a new one with a different team. I'll give you guys a little preview. And I did a start today. I normally do an offline franchise, but when you're starting basically April, right, it's the 29th of March, I don't know when I'll actually... Oh, good defense. I don't know when I'll start playing it once I finalize the sliders. Then I'll dive into it, and it'll just pick up with the off season. So I'll have an off season with the team, and then we'll go into the next season. But I got a different team. Got a little fun little surprise in there. I'll show you guys before we continue. For those curious, I'm excited to play it too. So let's take a look at the final numbers here. We know we're going to make a quick change to precipitation when we get out of here. Now, 52% for Caleb Williams is honestly pretty damn realistic for him. Normally he hovers around 58-59%. We had a couple, like 1 or 2 egregious drops from the weather, which I'm fine with a couple of them happening, but there's been a couple too many. Ultimately, let's see here. They sacked him 4 times. So that's really 25 pass attempts. And they're down the whole game. So even then, that's not anything crazy. We go to rushing. 2 of those, I believe, were designed. That was designed, you know. So when you look at, they still ran it. I'll tell you right now, they ran it 10 times down the entire game. They didn't score. This was more rushing attempts than I ever had on the previous slider set in games against the Bengals, Ravens, and Packers. And they were down, so I'm still taking that. No, I'm not doing the XP sliders again. Nope, I don't need, there's no reason to do anything. There was an update to quarterbacks a couple months ago. That's it. I don't need to touch that. This is just sliders, tweaking the sliders. Looks like I'm tweaking wear and tear a little bit and precipitation a little bit just because you're getting so many more games, which I'm going to do right now. Here it is. Precipitation catch chance. Scales the amount precipitation has an impact on catch chances. I think at 70, let's just go down to 60. We were seeing some pretty egregious ones. We got the Bills next. We might have a snow game again. And then we got Steelers, and then it's Bengals. So there's only 3 left. So far, everything's holding up. Where does it tell us? I know we know in advance if we're getting a snow. Normally it'll tell us ahead of time if we're getting snow. And I know sometimes over here it'll have like the cool stadium All right, whatever. Let's back out. I'm gonna give you guys a little preview. Part of the reason I did where does it show who I've downloaded? Where does it show who I've downloaded? Or does it not? Download center. Let's go here. Download history. Alright. Bam. It's gonna be the Titans, but let me show you, what is his name here? OE26. I did an online one. And I started from the Super Bowl, and we got the Titans new jerseys, and I imported those. So I'm gonna run a Titans franchise. We got the updated field, and we got the updated jerseys for the Titans. That's what it'll be. But all I did is I built it and I put everything in. I haven't done anything with the off season yet. I haven't made it that far. You can see I got it right there. All right. Chess says, "Oh my gosh, the injuries. What's up with the injuries? Did I miss something?" The Browns. Oh, the Browns have these injuries, man. Like, it's brutal. All right. Is it really not gonna say? Normally it says if you're gonna expect snow or not. I guess we'll just find out. I think that looks better. Alright. Alright, so far so good. It's holding up. Yeah, I'm going to rock with Cam Ward. I'm not going to do anything crazy there. You don't trade first overall picks after one season. You know me. I'm not going to be unrealistic like that. I can't be unrealistic like that. Oops. We got a nice weather game here. Oh, it doesn't always tell you. Thanks, Doctor. Appreciate letting me know, man. I didn't really know. I haven't had weather games too much. Alrighty. Alright, so now we're getting a test here. Non-rain or snow game, but a good quarterback. Oh, good pass breakup. Now remember, I mean, it's going to be the Titans roster how it was through Super Bowl. So I'll go through free agency and stuff like that. The team will look different than it does in real life. You know, like they traded the Darius Sneed and stuff like that. You know, I don't know what I'll do, right? But I'm not gonna go through this past season. I'm gonna go in and pick up where it's gonna be at. Good pressure, good coverage, good defense, good sack. Here's what I don't understand. We're in December in Cleveland, and there doesn't need to be weather. It doesn't need to be rain or snow. I understand that. But could it at least look like it's cold out? It don't look like it's cold. This should, if nothing else, be cold. Like, we should be seeing some breath. We should be like getting the feel that this is a cold weather game, or even if there's no moisture. Oh, good pass defense, number 30. 3rd and 12. We're gonna do hot blitz. I don't know if I want to do hot blitz. Shoot, I couldn't audible out of it in time. Yeah. Figured he'd torch me. Oh no. Josh Allen is Josh Allen, man. Trying to give him a different look. Shade underneath. Oh, what a dart. They need to bring that back. They need to bring the breath back, man. That's a vibe in the game. That's an immersion thing for sure. I mean, I know they still have it. Or they used to more recently than that. Oh, good navigation in the freaking between the behind the line of scrimmage. That was really good. Oh no, got torched. Man, Josh Allen is doing his thing. I'm probably gonna not I probably can't be in man too much. I'm gonna have to sit in a zone. Good pass breakup. Let's hit him with a stunt on Myles Garrett's side. Hopefully they don't run over there, because they'll probably get 8 or 9 yards if they do. Got a man up in blitz. We're going to protect the sticks. I don't know how he's so wide open. Who was supposed to pick him up? It's in the... Yeah, because it's not a cold game. Oh my, he just got cooked. That's why he got so wide open. I told him to protect the sticks, and he just did that. I don't know what that was. Got cooked. They didn't run it as much, but we know that there's going to be variables to that. What we're wanting is overall more running. To feel like it's a threat, to feel like they're going to do it more than 10 to 12 times a game. Part of it is they need to be successful on it, right? Previously, he was not successful. They're getting a little bit of success there. He's up to 4 for 13. Maybe they'll start running the ball a little bit more now if they get it going a little bit. Oh no! He's out. Whew. Thought that was a touchdown, man. Hand it off right here. I really want to put a spy on him, but we're going to double up wide receiver 1. Knockout. Whew. Yeah, I appreciate that, King. Appreciate the kind words. I try. I try. Bills are not running the ball the way I'd hoped. That's his 5th carry. I was hoping he'd be more at like 8 or 9 by now. But he might get there by the end of this drive. You never know, they could change things up. You never know when they're going to have a drive where they just start to run the ball, you know? Runs like that help, because now you're 2nd and 2, and suddenly you can run the ball and say, now they're not going to, and this is a quarterback designed run, but they could have come out and run it on 2nd and 2. There's a designed run. That counts. That's what having success on 1st down runs does. And they hadn't been having that all games. Now we got back-to-back runs. Good knockout. I'd love to see him run a draw right here. And I'm literally daring him to with getting play action. No, don't break that. I ran that stunt in the middle. 3rd and 1. They could sneak this. Play action. Oh, number 9, you gotta get your hand up, Delpit. We're gonna run man, but we're gonna show cover 2. Another run. That counts. I'll take that all day as a run attempt. Maybe get a little extra pressure. I was hoping to get Myles Garrett getting pressure from the inside, force him outside where I have that spy waiting. Oh my, Dalvin Cook. That's not Dalvin Cook, that's James Cook, I'm sorry. Either way, what a truck. They are, this is the very epitome of just long, methodical drive. You guys noticing that? The CPU is just kind of just working their way down the field. Just picking up first down, mixing in the run and the pass. And I'm over here mixing up coverages, I'm mixing up shells, I'm putting in some stunts. Nothing is working. They're mixing the run-pass ratio on this drive. It's phenomenal. Like, I don't know what to call. Now it's 2nd and 2. I mean, they could run on this play, they could pass it. If they don't pick it up on this play, they could then run it on 3rd and 2 if they don't lose yards. I mean, this is what's interesting, is the options that can be had here. Throw it. Josh Allen's killing, man. 200 yards in the first half. You know, when it's all said and done, James Cook has 10 carries in the first half. And we got a couple design runs from Josh Allen. Pause. He's 75%, you guys. So he's killing it, but he's well within realistic completion percentage. He's thrown it 24 times. They've dominated the whole first half. This is like literally the opposite of the game we just had against the Bears. The Browns have not had the ball at all. So the amount of plays being called for the Bills is inflated. Even then, these are all design runs. So they still have 12 rushing attempts in a game where the Browns have 13 plays total. We sacked Josh Allen one time. So far, the completion percentage is holding up. They are still running the ball. Because remember, the first 3 games of my season, when I played against the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Packers, the Ravens ran it with Derrick Henry 8 times. The Browns ran it with Chase Brown 8 times. The Packers ran it with Josh Jacobs 12 times. Dalvin Cook already has 10 in the first half. And there's one. And as we get in the second half, they're up a little bit. They're up 2 scores. We might see them transition into running a little bit more. Good pass breakup. All right, yeah, we gotta put a spy on our guy here. In case he tries to pull some crap. Oh my. How did he get so wide open? We were manned up. What the hell? Oh my goodness. All I did was tell him to protect the sticks. Where is this dude going? Where is that Beanie Bishop? Like, I don't know what that is. Maybe that's because I went protect sticks, so he just slid over to the sticks. I don't know. That could be because of what I did there. 3 straight runs. At least we're getting... Watch him do a quarterback draw here. Nope. Oh! Okay. So this is where we gotta monitor it, right? James Cook was getting a lot of carries. And now they got Davis in. We gotta monitor how long is Davis gonna be in the game. This is gonna be coming back to wear and tear. It's like the amount of carries, they get to a certain point where they don't recover. So we got to monitor this. I tried the in-game healing reserve up. That doesn't seem to have made a difference. Swat that. Let's go. Yeah, James Cook is just straight gone from the game. And I'm assuming it's wear and tear related. Just because of the touches that he had. Yeah. So we're going to have to adjust wear and tear. Again, it's completely different now that the CPU's actually running the ball a lot. Their backs are taking way more contact than they were before. And so we're going to have to adjust for that. Because even after the quarter replenishment, let's just make sure that James Cook isn't hurt before I am freaking out here. He's not hurt. So this is a wear and tear thing for James Cook. So this is where wear and tear is going to have to get rebuilt to handle. There we got another sack finally. It's going to have to get rebuilt to handle the amount of wear and tear that they accumulate. Well, they didn't have wear and tear in the game last year. That was a progressive fatigue thing, and that could have been like when people set their auto subs a certain way, players wouldn't recover their fatigue. But this was, I mean, James Cook just sat out a bunch of plays, got the quarter replenishment, like there's wear and tear supposed to regenerate from a quarter, and he still isn't back in the game. And we just saw it happen last game with the 49ers and McCaffrey, and he did come back after the halftime recovery. But then he ran a couple more plays and he was gone. And then we just did here. James Cook sitting for all these plays, should be recovering. Every single one of these plays he should be recovering. Plus we had the quarter recovery. And whatever it is isn't enough to get him back in the game. So these are going to have to be completely rebuilt. which is, I mean, interesting, but also a good thing, because the only reason that these need to be rebuilt, oh my god, there he goes, is because they're running the ball, right? On the previous sets that I've been dropping where they don't run the ball and the guys weren't taking this kind of punishment, the wear and tear was fine. Yeah, James Cook just isn't in the game at all. He's just donezo. We're going to look to make some changes to the wear and tear here before we continue the next 2 games. I don't even really know. We're just going to take a look at it. Designed run. I mean, one thing's for sure. We're going to, I mean, the teams are getting over 20 design runs a game. There's just not even a question about it. Everything, but the only thing, so Trez, that does make some sense, right? If it was tuned for 5 minutes, which honestly a PC guy would know for sure, they can go in there and look and see. But the only thing I would say to that is, if it's 30 for everything, the only thing I don't like about everything is that means that a hit stick and a cut stick has the same impact on wear and tear as a normal tackle. Just like blocking has the same impact as those things. And in my opinion, it shouldn't. Unless there's another explanation, again, that's deep, you know, unless they do have their impacts calculated differently, we just don't understand it at the surface level. But because it says impact, right? Impact, if they're all the same, that means all those variable types of hits and interactions have the exact same impact. I will take a look at it. Where can I see his wear and tear here? Coaching, depth chart. Yeah, he's really high. His is pretty moderate. Really high. He's got moderate, which is good. And let's take a look though too, because he hasn't been in the game for a while. So how many touches does he have where he got really high? 13 runs. He had 13 runs. How many receptions does he have? Doesn't have any reception. So 13 touches and he's very high. And then Ray Davis has 2 receptions. So he's got 8 touches and he's just minimal, right? So that's interesting to me. You know, 100%, this is why he's out. It's wear and tear. But that's what I'm saying. We need to just adjust the wear and tear. He shouldn't be out from 13 touches. Like, that's just straight up the truth. You know what I mean? And I always wanted wear and tear to be more like the auto subs, like to rotate the players in and out. You know what I mean? Like players would be in, they'd get a little wear and tear, they'd sub out, and then they'd recover it and come back in. You know what I mean? What's his durability? Well, that's a good thing to bring up because it did the same thing to McCaffrey, and he's probably got a lower durability rating. Kind of did the same thing to Derrick Henry too, though. I mean, what I can tell you is, regardless of his durability rating, it's been happening a little too much to the running backs. But let's take a look at his durability rating. Josh Allen, 74%, by the way. So that's still holding up. Excuse me. Toughness is an 84. Where do I... Injuries an 88. See, he's not regenerating anything. What's interesting is the per play recovery, you're supposed to recover per play, right? Unless the in-game... unless the in-game has maxed out and you can't recover anymore, right? Because you have only so much of a pool you can pull from. But what I do know is he was, getting every single carry, and then all of a sudden he hit a point where no, he's not getting a carry anymore. Yo, Sam, welcome to the stream. Madden, all Madden's like that every game, but I do things a little bit differently than others to get it to be a little bit more fair. The big thing is I play it on competitive style versus simulation. That helps remove a lot of the boosts that the CPU gets over the user. Alright, so he was below 75% Rex in the game. MVP can't, we're fine with 75%, y'all. For 50 quarterback accuracy, 50 catching on all Madden, that's good. Let's take a look at, now he did pass it, they passed a lot, it's the Bills. 43 attempts. But they had over 20 attempts. We're still sitting good there. We got to figure out wear and tear. No reason to make any changes. Quarterback percentages are holding up great. They're running the ball. I mean, everything's good. Now we're just onto a whole new problem, wear and tear. And I think that's a good problem to have. We're not going to change anything in precipitation because we didn't have a game to determine. So let's take a look at what we got for... This is where we're currently at with the wear and tear, right? The tackle impact is 50, and the per play is 45. I mean, that's a great thing to bring up, Doctor. And this is where these are at. And that could be something tied to the wear and tear of the season, but like 13 is still too low. Guys are still gonna, and the other thing is too is he wasn't rotating out early, right? It was he just hit a certain point and then boom, was not recovering. And that's where I'm wondering, is it the week to week recovery too low? Is it the healing reserve pool too low? I feel like these both need to probably go up. But at the same time, because this was always at 50, this was at, whatever. The issue here is he was not coming out for plays here and there and then coming back in. With all these set how they are set, which they're not too crazy. With these set how they are set, the per play recovery was slightly down. From the impact, right? So when you look at the impact versus the recovery, he was going like 13 touches before he needed to come out. So, and I know someone said that on Reddit, they were talking about how based on longer quarter lengths, this should all be set at 30. But what's going to happen here, the idea with wear and tear is it's not just seasonal. It's like if a guy runs it 4 or 5 times in a row, he's going to take some beatings. He needs to sub out for a couple plays. That's the goal with wear and tear. What we are not getting is the guy subbing out. Like we had it where McCaffrey did 7-8 carries in a row, did not come out from the tackle, right? With the 50 impact and the per play recovery at 45 did not come out. But suddenly it built up enough that the timeout recovery, the per quarter recovery, etc. was not enough because he never came out from these rests, and then it hit to a point where then he suddenly wasn't recovering enough. You know what I mean? And so here's what I'm... I don't want to rebuild these on the fly. These are the ones from ChatGPT. And if we're being honest, ChatGPT just pulls shit from around the internet and then just spits out something, right? So this was kind of a culmination of what it discovered from the internet. Obviously, no one on the internet has anything very good because these don't work when the CPU actually runs the ball. So the first thing I want to do is, I do think that these need to be higher, like 80, 70, right? Week-to-week recovery is at 80. Game pool in-game 7. Maybe we don't need to be that high. Maybe it needs to be 60. If we can get everything else right, maybe that needs to be a little bit lower. I don't know. Halftime, they come back out, rejuvenated. We'll go 80 there. That's their biggest recovery. I think that's right. The tackle impacts have to be around 15. But Flacco, he was never subbing out. Again, what we want, in the way we want this to work, is if a guy runs it 4 or 5 times, 6 times in a row, he takes hits, he needs to sub out for a couple plays and come back in. That is not happening. What's happening is guys are running it 12, 13 times in a row, no sub, taking in all that wear and tear without any recovery, and then boom, they're going to recover and it's not enough. The per play recovery doesn't get them back where they need to be. The quarter recovery doesn't get them back to where they need to be. The halftime recovery gets them back to go on the field, but then as soon as they take a little bit of wear and tear, they drop below where the per play and the timeout recovery and quarter recovery gets them back up. So lowering the tackle impact is just going to mean that guys are just, they're going to have more carries. But the idea is, if they go 4 or 5 carries in a row, they should need to come out for a couple plays and then come back in. That's the goal. The week-to-week recovery seem fine. Yeah, but I'm thinking it needs to scale with everything else. You know what I mean? And we're going to move on to the next game here, but I do want to try to... See, I used to scale these completely different, right? I think that's actually pretty good. Timeout isn't that much, but per play. Oh. Do any of you have a? Again, it's going to be tricky because we haven't had the CPU run the ball like this. But do any of you have any wear and tear where it's like they take 4 or 5 hits, they need to come out for them. 4 or 5 hits, they need to come out for them again. Yeah, fatigue messes with the gameplay too much, though. We tried that yesterday. Just upped it to 65. Yeah, but I do want them to rotate out here a little bit more too, right? Tackle impact is at default 50, and we're at what am I playing for quarters? I'm at 11 minutes now, 12 minutes. So what if what if the Reddit post is accurate to an extent, right? Where if it's built on 5-minute quarters and we're at 12-minute, that is a 70% increase, right? No, that's a 100 and... Because a 100% increase is 10 minutes, and then you have an extra 2 minutes on top of that. 2 out of 5 is 40, so that's a 140% increase, right? So it wouldn't be 30 on 12 minutes. I got an idea. Yeah, but I can't do that. I mean, you can do that only in an offline one, right? You can't do that in an online one, right? So that does work, you know, for something like this. But I do want you know, the whole point of the wear and tear is they take a beating, they come out for a couple plays, and they recover, right? What if we've been thinking about this all wrong? Like, roll with me on this for a second. We all put tackle because it's common as the lowest one, right? We have catch tackle, which is basically they get hit when they're trying to catch it. Hit stick, all this stuff is higher, but these don't happen nearly as much, right? And their impact's higher. What if it should be reversed? What if tackle should be the highest? I don't know. That doesn't even make sense as I said it. I'm just trying to think of a way. The per play recovery needs to be lower than the tackle impact, right? We don't get a lot of these tackles. But you know what I want to do? Now that they're running the ball, I honestly want to see how my old wear and tear worked. The one that I did for college football. I didn't make one for Madden. And it worked great in college football, other than you get to the end of the season, or guys like went through their healing reserve crap too quickly. Right? That was the only issue. It worked great for the beginning of the season. But I think Madden has, and you could adjust the in-pool results. Those could be adjusted. Come on, now I can't even load YouTube to see what those were. I guess I gotta do it on my phone. Internet's struggling today. Only on my computer though, everything else is just fine. But I guess as long as the stream is going. Let me pull it up because it's been a long time. And I don't remember what they were. I don't even remember if I hid the video or not. Nope, I still have it going. So we're gonna try that. I mean, what we got to lose? This was for college football, and as far as rotations went, it was pretty dang good. It was what happened. I don't know if I think I screwed up. I'm probably gonna switch this around. I had catch tackle and hit stick up high. I might flip some of these around real quick, but I'll just put it in here. Cut stick was 85, which I think should be probably flipped around. Defender tackle advantage, I had 75. Like I said, I might switch some of these around. We'll have the numbers there. Sack I had at 60. Where did I get some of these numbers, man? Block I had at 60. I don't think I want to do that one. I think I'm going to keep block. We'll go 40 here. I don't think, learning what I know now, I don't want block to be that high. Impact block I had. Per play recovery I had 40. Per timeout recovery, I had 45. Yikes. Yo, this is definitely not gonna work. All the recoveries are down really, really low. Like all this is doing is removing the recovery and increasing the hits. So I don't know how those worked in college football. They're definitely not going to work here. All right. Let's just do this. We're just going to wing something here. We're going to set these all back to 50. And we got to get back to testing, but we're going to just wing something here. Kind of have an idea. Alright, so we're going to start with the thing that has the most impact, hit stick, right? We're just going to do the extremes. We're gonna do the extremes first, and then we're gonna fill in after that. Let's just put this up to 80. This is the one extreme for sure. And then we're gonna match. That should max the extreme because that's the most recovery you can have in game. And then defender attack it. What would we say if you guys had to say what would be the next highest for an impact on wear and tear? Would you go catch, which is getting hit when you're trying to catch it, cut stick tackle, bigger defender tackling a guy, or impact block? If you guys just, what's your opinion there? Me personally, I think it's cut stick because of going under your legs, but at the same time, an argument can be made that that's not going to have the most wear and tear. The most wear and tear could come from the defender tackle. What do you guys think? I'm going to listen to what you guys have to say, but while I wait for comments to come in, I'm just going to kind of go where I'm at. And then, hold on, how many are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna change this. Shoot, no I'm not. Well... 80, 70, 60. Probably do need to go up. So 90 here. Here. We're gonna keep. Okay, I have an idea. All right, so 90, 80. We're just gonna do like by 10. Every single one of these by 10. 90, 80, 70. What do I want after catch tackle? Probably impact block at 60. And then we would go cut stick would be 50. we go tackle would be 40. And sack would be 30. And block would be 20. Or maybe we double them up because that seems really spread out. And then if you don't have anything for block, then your defenders on the defensive line are never going to go out. So let's just double them up then. 80, 80. And we'll have 70. We can move this up to 70. So we'll just double them up. 80, 80, 70, 70. This would go to 60. Oh, I don't like that either. Shit, you guys. I gotta rethink this. Because blocking is what's going to impact your defense. Like, that needs, everyone sets that low, including myself, but that's what messes with your defensive line needing to come out a little bit too. You know what I mean? So you're looking at this two different ways. You're either going to raise up all the wear and tear and then raise up the recovery, or you're going to lower all the wear and tear and lower the recovery. You know what I mean? Or you try to do the in-between, right? And if you do the in-between, you'd have a couple of these, like the halftime and per quarter up high, then you'd have per timeout and per play down low. And if 50 is the middle line, then you'd have a couple above, a couple sitting above 60, maybe between, above 50, between like 60 and 80. And then offset, you could have it between, I don't even know if you want to go that low necessarily, between like 20 and 40. Because what would you put over here? I mean, honestly, tackle could be low. Like someone said, tackle could honestly be pretty low. Because that's the thing that happens all the damn time. Put like 25. And I could honestly follow along my old 25, 50, 75 scale. If we're sitting in that range. Not exactly though. Let's do like a... We'll do what so-and-so said about 30 for tackle impact. And we're going to put hits, let's see, that's a minus 20. So let's go plus 20 here. Tackle impact. And let's go sack. Down to like 35. We're going to put this up to 65 to counter that. No, Jay, I feel you on that. And it's like trying to figure out this science is kind of wild. You know what I mean? So we're going to we have that offsetting each other. We have that offsetting each other. Impact block needs to be pretty good. We could go up to... We can put that at 65 as well. No, because we need to have one of these be higher. Well, no, actually, I'm okay with impact block being higher. 65. We have that 35. We'll do that 40, 60. A nice little spread there. Then what we have here is cut, stick, and catch tackle. I think catch tackle is going to be better than cut sticks. We go down to like 45 here. We can go 55 here. I don't know. 70. We have 70, 65, 60, 55. We don't have anything at 50. And we have a 45, 40, 35, 30. Okay. Now the tricky one. Pitch sticks tackle 70. We're going to put halftime recovery. We're just going to max it. 70. And per play recovery, we're going to put this down as far as it goes. 30. And then we're going to do a per timeout. 40. And we'll do a per quarter at 60. Weak jerk recovery. Those two are both at 50. I think in-game reserve pool. Man, these were both at 50 before. I think we're going to leave these at 50. We're going to give this a try. All right, we're going to get on to the next game. Sorry, y'all. That's just something new that has to be adjusted. And before we even do this, we're going to go take a look at Pittsburgh. Wear and tear for their running back, just to have an idea. Warren's low, Caleb Johnson's low. We should be okay there. We should be okay there. Week to week was at 65. Thank you. I don't remember. Do you remember what Healing Reserve pool scale was at? Was that 50? I mean, if this was at 65, I feel like this should be a little bit higher. We'll just go 55. All right, and they don't have much wear and tear at all. They're pretty good. So that means, and honestly, let's go look at after that game. James Cook has none. So it's all in-game. It has nothing to do with the week-to-week. That stuff's just fine. It was just the in-game. That's interesting and good to know. All right. Let's see. We got 2 games left. I did make a March Madness bracket. We're not going to talk about it. It hasn't gone very well. I'm down to... We got another snow game. This looks like a regular snow game, though, not a Blizzard snow game. I had Michigan versus Michigan State in the championship game. Obviously, that's not going to happen. See, yeah, this is the regular snow. And I think they need to have, for these games, how it looks in college football. I think the regular snow games in college football look so much better than the regular snow games here. Sliders are looking good. They are. Appreciate that feedback. Now it's this whole wear and tear thing is going to come into play now. Because we went ahead and made the CPU run the ball. How dare we? It's like you do something really, really good that we've been wanting to do, and then all of a sudden, boom, you know? They're just 3 straight runs. So we're gonna monitor wear and tear. I have to go to depth chart, don't I? Holy smokes, look at, he's already moderate after 3 carries. But I'm okay with that. 3 carries, honestly, he should come out for a play. He's not, though. This is what's gonna cause his wear and tear to get really high. He got another carry, got another tackle. He needs to come out. And I'm pretty sure running backs are set on get fresh or keep fresh. Oh, what a pick. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Alright, so this will be interesting. So Jalen Warren, we saw where he was at, right? We're just going to simulate to the very next moment. We're going to go take a look. So he just sat. He rested for a little bit. Oops, I got to go to the right one here. So he recovered. He's moderate. It's all -1, which is where it was when we started the game, when we looked ahead of time. So he did recover there. Oh, I just choked that. Really wish they'd sub him out. You think the auto subs overrides the CPU making subs? It shouldn't override the wear and tear set to keep fresh, though. Yeah, field degradation, they need to improve that for next year. Again, they're making progress, right? Like with what they did with the weather and stuff. So I'm anticipating they can build off of it, right? They got some feedback, right? People loved the snow and the rain games. It looked really good. This level of snow needs a little bit of an upgrade, as far as, you know, make it look more like they do in college football. But yeah, field degradation, jerseys getting dirty, things like that. Needs more of that. There goes Jalen Warren again. Oh, what a move. Okay. Dude just juked the shit out of me. Let's monitor this real quick. We're just going to keep... He's -2 now. It's honestly not that bad. I do wish that they would give Caleb Johnson a couple carries. Dude just does not come out of the game. Part of it could be because we're uncompetitive too. Hey, we can actually see them breathing, their breath. They need to amplify it like it was, though, man. Yeah. Snow accumulate, that'd be huge. That'd be awesome. If they could add accumulating snow, we'd be in a good spot. There he goes. Oh, we forgot to look. We'll take a look at that. See, he you know, he didn't recover that much between plays. He's getting a little bit high there, but we're going to take a look after the quarter here. That should have been the last play. This dude's got 10 carries in the first quarter. They had. All right, now let's take a look how it looks as we go into second. He should have some recovery. He did recover. He's -2 now. They had accumulated snow on the PS4, Madden 25, Madden 16. Madden 15, Madden 16. They had accumulated snow on all of those. But so the CPU should follow the wear and tear, like keep fresh. You know what I mean? There's no reason that the CPU should not have or be able to have a strategy for now. One thing we know for sure is they definitely run the ball more in snow games, because holy smokes. And I mean, you're 100% right on the auto subs, right? You're 100% accurate. But the wear and tear sub setting should have an impact, right? Because auto subs is when that player subs out from, like, literally wear and tear. Wear and tear. What a dot. What a dot. So we can't have players, you can't have wear and tear in the game with a subsetting for when the players come out, right? You go in here, you go substitution. When do they come out? Keep fresh, whatever. Like, the CPU needs to have something like that too. Otherwise, what's the point of having a sub strategy for wear and tear? Now, they just scored, they sat, let's see what it looks like. He hasn't recovered at all. All those plays that ran, he didn't recover any. So the same thing's gonna happen because they're not giving any other person the ball. He's not going off the field. Now they got Caleb Johnson on there. Where are you going, A-Rod? Jeez. Now, Jalen Warren didn't touch the ball there a couple plays, so maybe he got some recovery. We'll take a look next time they have the ball, because it'll either be this half or it'll be after halftime. We'll see what that looks like. But again, we have tackle impact down to 30. The issue is that he's the only one getting any carries. He did recover a little bit. He did recover some. If we can figure out a way to get the CPU to follow a wear and tear sub strategy, then I think we'd be okay. One thing I did notice and I haven't done this all year. Like in the main menu, I've always left the wear and tear subs alone. But someone told me in the Discord, if you set them there, when you go into franchise, they come in automatically. Like when you go in there, when you start one. I'm wondering if I set those in the main menu or whatever, like we can get them in here so that the CPU will follow some sort of wear and tear sub strategy. Or if there's a way to get the CPU to follow wear and tear sub strategy. Because Jaylen Warren has had enough wear and tear that under the Keep Fresh guideline, he should. And I'm pretty sure I put him in the main menu though, because I started my new franchise with the Titans last night, and they were all in there, and I was like, holy smokes, this shit works. And it had all the wear and tear stuff too. Like, I don't do custom wear and tear, whatever. Oh my god, they just ran a read option with Aaron Rodgers, and he just took it for 20 yards. Oh my god, what is he doing? We'll take it though. Just the fact that it's set to keep fresh. Jaylen Warren has 14 carries. I think he has a reception or two as well. He's got 15 touches in the first half. At some point, there should be keep fresh kicking in to get him off the field. Oh, we caught that. Now remember, we increased that. I'm gonna try to ice him. We nerfed the impact of weather on catches. We gotta monitor that. Maybe we did a little too much. We did a -10. We'll just monitor it. Alright, so we're in the second half. Let's take a look at, give me one second, I gotta send a message. We're gonna take a look at the recovery from the halftime. Let's see how Jaylen Warren looks. He's high. So halftime recovery, what happened to you? He's at high risk after just having halftime, where he's supposed to recover. He's at 14 carries, which is fantastic. Look at all these runs in the first half. These are all design runs. They just ran it 18 times in the first half. That's phenomenal. There's the issue right there. There's nothing going on with the backup. And he had, he was targeted. So because he's not coming out, he's getting 14 carries, but there's no breaks in between. Now he's high on wear and tear. So this is what's going to happen. He's going to get a couple more carries like this. And what's going to happen is he's going to hit that level where he's going to come out, and Caleb Johnson's going to come in, and Jaylen Warren won't return to the game. That's what's going to happen. Oh no. Which is so frustrating because we're like right there, y'all. This is like the gameplay is holding up. Everything's holding up. Completion percentage, the CPU running the ball. There's Caleb Johnson in. And I bet you we don't see Jalen Warren again. Eight minutes left to go in the third. I bet you we don't see Jalen Warren again. Because he didn't really recover from halftime. And we have the halftime set to 70. And the thing is even if we increase the healing reserve or whatever, the problem is still there. They're having all these carries and they're not subbing out. See, he's severe. He's not going to come back. And the reason he's severe is because he was not subbing out from all his carries. Okay, Caleb Johnson. Now there's Pierce. So is Caleb Johnson tapped out? I probably should have looked. And Pierce is just gonna... I mean... They're taking attribute hits with his wear and tear. Oh yeah, for sure. But see, now Caleb Johnson's out, and now they're down to Pierce. I'd like to give it to Johnny Smith. That's a couple of promises. Let's see what's going on with... Oh, Johnson's back in the game. We got to run man here. The thing that I don't like about the Jalen Warren thing is he's not like hurt where you see him go and he might just be out for a quarter or whatever. It's just wear and tear. So let's see here. See if he was a -7 or something like that before. Let's take a look. It is getting better. So remember, it was -7, -5. It still says severe, but the numbers are getting a little bit better. Caleb Johnson is low, and Damon Pierce is none. It just sucks because you know that Jalen Warren thing wouldn't be an issue if they just rotated him around instead of giving him the first 14 carries in the game. We'll see what Jalen Warren looks like after the third quarter, which will be the next time we get in there. So he should have another recovery from quarter, and maybe we need to jack that up a little bit. Alright, let's take a look. He was severe and he was -5. Nothing changed. The quarter, nothing changed at all. So that's interesting. There was like no improvement on the quarter change. There has been improvement on the per play, but it's going to be slow because it's set lower. But we are seeing improvement on that. But the fact is there should have been a huge recovery from the quarter, and there wasn't. And I'm pretty sure it's set to like 65. Good knockout. So then is that going to be like in the in-game reserve pool thing, or? Doing it from main, what do you mean it doesn't work when you did it from main menu? What happened? Like you set it in the main menu, then you brought in there and it doesn't work for the CPU? Alright, we're going to take a look here. So he's going to have more per play recovery. That whole possession plus the Browns possession. We know that nothing happened at the quarter. So I mean, nothing hardly went off there, but let's take a look. Nothing. Just dunzo, and it's because they would not sub him. It's keep fresh. Yeah, it's a major issue. It's like they don't really work. You know what I mean? Like the sub strategy doesn't work at all. Or at least it doesn't work for the CPU. And honestly, for the user, half the time you have the sub strategy in, and you still have to press up on the pad and then do the change yourself. Hardly any time went off the clock, but we're just still going to monitor it. So Caleb Johnson's recovering. Remember, he was a minus something before. Now he's back. So Jalen Warren just got tapped out. And he wasn't that bad when we started. So I wonder if it's... Yeah, Randy, you're 100% right. This was just a really good way to get some rotations, you know what I mean? But what's worse is if you... They should be rotating from wear and tear. They shouldn't just be going through and you know, getting their wear and tear up and just keep going and carrying the ball, getting the touches, and not subbing out to the point that they hit a point where they cannot recover enough to come back into the game. You know what I mean? And so Jaylen Warren was recovering some initially, right? We were watching it, we saw it, there was some recovery there, and then it just stopped. And Caleb Johnson has recovered. We saw him go down to where he was getting -1s, and then he was recovered. And then Jaylen Warren has recovered even when it was -7. To his break tackle, change of direction, he hasn't improved at all. I wonder if it's the in-game reserve. That's the only thing that could matter, is they've used up their in-game reserve. And I almost wonder if the in-game reserve should be set lower. Because I'm wondering if the in-game reserve was set higher, right? It's not super high, but it is higher. It is whatever. And so basically, oh, what a move. What a move, Caleb Johnson. So basically, whenever they'd start to get lower, that in-game reserve would kick in and get them recovered back up to stay in the game, and then they tapped out of their in-game reserve pool, and so now they can't recover anymore. What's in-game reserve? That's the healing reserve pool. That's how much wear and tear healing a player can tap into in a game. And I'm wondering if having it higher is what prevents them from rotating out, because basically whenever they start to get lower, they just recover, they use it, and they use it all up, and then they use it to the point where they can't recover anymore. They don't have any left. What a run. Tie game. Wow. That's my theory. See, because he hasn't recovered at all. And he should be recovering every single play. So the fact that he's not recovering at all, like he started to recover, then he stopped. Caleb Johnson was recovering, now he hasn't. Even though he's supposed to recover every single play. I'm thinking that's the in-game pool of how much recovery they can do in-game. That's what I'm thinking. Correct. So what my theory is, I don't know if this is accurate, is they're taking, like, early in the game, first, second quarter, right? They're running the ball, they're getting their wear and tear. And then what they're doing is they're tapping into their ability to recover that pool, and they're using it, and they're staying on the field. And then what is, because they're using it to stay on, which is why there's no subs, then once they don't have that access to that pool anymore and they've used it all up, it's depleted, then when their wear and tear gets higher, they don't recover anymore. Because you're noticing that Caleb Johnson and Jaylen Warren have stopped recovering completely. When Jaylen Warren stopped recovering is when he didn't come into the game anymore. Caleb Johnson's staying in the game because he's still moderate, he hasn't hit that level yet. But we've seen him, he is no longer recovering like he was. So he's hit the point where he's only taking more wear and tear. He's not going to recover wear and tear. There's timeout, right? Timeout is supposed to be recovery. Let's take a look. He's getting worse. Do I think we better turn it off wear and tear? No. The timeout. He got no recovery from a timeout. He got no recovery from a timeout. It's the in-game reserve pool. It's 100% that. That's why Jaylen Warren didn't recover at half. That's why they're not recovering at quarter breaks. It's not why they're not recovering at timeouts. It's why Caleb Johnson is only taking wear and tear now. He is no longer recovering. They've tapped into their pool, and they'd used it all early on. So I think with these balls here, these weather balls, a little bit much. We'll bump it back up because that should have probably been not a catch, but either way. Alright, so we're gonna just pause and look at the pause. No, I can't pause. All right, we'll look here. So, A-Rod, 15 and 29 for 51%. One touchdown. Not a good game from him in the weather. But then we look at Pittsburgh. 17 for 95 for Jaylen Warren. 14 for 72 from Caleb Johnson. Jonnu Smith has 3. Austin has 2. Pierce has 1. Aaron Rodgers has 1. This was a designed run. Every single one of these was a designed run. 17 plus 14 is 31. Plus 3 is 34. Plus 2 is 36. Plus 2 more is 38 rushing attempts, y'all. And, by the way, we're in overtime here. Did we get any? This is quarter break. Caleb Johnson recovered a little bit. Remember, he was all yellow? He did recover. He has not recovered. He's tapped out. No more recovery for Jaylen Warren. Yeah, so far, the sliders have held up beautifully. It's created another problem, Smokey, which is the wear and tear. Now, we've been going through, the final boss is the Bengals. They're up next. And then just figuring out this dang wear and tear. And we might look, does anyone want to hop on Reddit or Operation Sports to see if anybody has any good wear and tear for 11 to 12 minute quarters? I'm really just ready at this point to try something from somebody because I don't really feel like, I mean, the thing, oh my god, they're gonna house call it on the first play of the game. Where have we seen that before? I mean, I think the wear and tear is like how much players get hurt and stuff isn't good. They're just not recovering right. See, they went for 2 and they got it. No way. Nah, there shouldn't be anything that it's not working right, Randy. Like we literally saw, because we saw them recover up into a certain point, and then they stopped. So this is what we're gonna do before we go to the Bengals. We're gonna make a change until we're gonna have to do some research, figuring out you know, the damn wear and tear. So he's the healing reserve pool skill. And we don't have the description here because why would EA, of course, include it in franchise mode? So we'll go to the main menu, guys, so you guys we can see. If you go to healing reserve pool skill, it says scale the amount of healing that can be done per game. 0 being no healing, 100 being the most healing allowed. So once they utilize, this is how much healing they're allowed. That is why Jaylen Warren stopped healing. But he had 17 carries, and then he just was out of the game. He was 17 carries. Caleb Johnson didn't get a thing because Jaylen Warren just kept healing. You know? I have an idea. I'm gonna try. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try something pretty crazy. So we're gonna leave this at 50. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move this up to 60. Yeah, screw it, 60. And something over here that I have at 60. What I'm going to do here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this up to 80. This up to 70. This up to... that up to 60. We're going to do this. We're going to have the timeouts. Well, timeout probably shouldn't be that much. We'll have it split in the middle of 50. So we're going to have halftime and quarter be pretty dang high. The problem that's going to cause, Randy, is if they have it 100, then they're just constantly going to recover and they're never going to have to sit out. They're never going to have that. So I think what we're going to do is keep the reserve pool at 50. What we're going to do is have the halftime and per quarter pretty high. And what we're going to do is tackle 60. I don't know if I want it that way. We'll do it like that. 50-40, 70-80. I think that's good. Well... no. We're gonna go there. What we're gonna do is we're gonna move this up a little bit. 60, and we're gonna do, we have to offset it somewhere. Need to lower something somewhere. I'm probably going to lower... that down to 30. So this is what we're gonna try. Yo, Smokey, thanks, man. It's synthwave. I got a couple of these playlists that I throw on here. For football, I go this one. I got a couple other ones like just rotate in and out. It's like, yeah, synthwave vibes. This is the idea that we're trying. Lower some of these other ones, right? And then per play is going to be low. So they're not going to recover per play. They're going to recover a lot quarter and halftime. That's kind of the goal. We're going to see how that works. And I kind of want to... We'll just try. Might not know, because we're playing our boss, the Bengals. And this is the last game of the stream. So far, though, the completion percentages holding up like phenomenally. The run-pass ratio holding up phenomenally. The worst one was the Bills. And it wasn't even that bad. I mean, the worst one was the Bills, and it was still better than anything that we had previously. We got another weather game. Rain, not snow. And we're going to monitor. We didn't check. Hold on. We forgot to check Chase Brown before the game. We'll just check him right now after one carry. He was already kind of high. Pirine's in. Oh, good catch. I didn't adjust the precipitation catching. I just let it go. And that's Jamar Chase. So. There goes Samaje Perine for his second carry. This is base PS5. This is base PS5. I thought about getting the Pro, but ultimately I kind of looked at, like, when I bought the PS4 Pro, it ended up not being really worth it. You know? And it's like, why buy the PS5 Pro 2 years before the PS6 comes out? You know what I mean? If you think about it, PlayStation comes out with a new console every 6 to 7 years. This released in 2020. We're in 2026. It's crazy to think that this November, the PS5 will be 6 years old. Which means, and they haven't announced anything, so we know we're not going to get anything this year. Which means we're getting one for November 2027. All right, let's take a look at the wear and tear here. So yeah, why would I, and I got the disc PS5 for $500. And in order to do the same thing with the PS5 Pro, it'd be like $900, right? Because the PS5 Pro is $800. Plus you gotta pay like basically $100 for the disc add-on. So I'm gonna spend basically double the money to get what kind of performance issue? Sorry, my headphones are beeping at me, so I'm gonna swap. Alright, there we go. Let's take a look. So yeah, it didn't make sense to spend it, because I was like, man, if I'm going to spend $900 to buy a PS5 Pro, and then I could sell this for like $300, it's used. And I do have I have extra, you know, SSD storage. I just take that and move it out, right? But so I really would spend like $600. I'd be like, I'd be better off getting a gaming PC, you know. You know, sell the PlayStation 5 for like $300, $350, you know, and then instead of spending $900 on a PS5 Pro, spend like an extra couple hundred and get a gaming PC. All right, so far so good. No, the Pro doesn't make any sense right now, at least in my opinion. And for streaming, it doesn't make any sense either, because, you know, I have the resolution set to 2K, what is it, 1440 or whatever, you know what I mean? And YouTube caps at 60 FPS. So there's no reason for me. I mean, I could stream at 4K 60 FPS. It's risky with the quality, right? Which is why I'm just at a, you know, lower. I'm at the 1440, 60 frames. So for streaming, it made no difference. For uploads, I'm still going to be uploading 4K 60 frames, because that's what YouTube limits. I can still upload 4K 60 frames per second. I gain nothing for my channel. All I gain is a little bit of quality when I play. I don't care. To me, I mean, not worth it. For me. I mean, I could tax write it off, but again, what benefit am I getting, or what benefit is my subscribers, my viewers getting? The quality is going to look the same. I think it's hilarious when people upload videos and say this is the difference between the PS5 and PS5 Pro. Like, what you're able to upload in YouTube is the same, 4K 60 frames. That doesn't really change between the two, because I can record 4K 60 frames on the console. Well, it started off looking good, you know, the Bengals, and then they just went crazy passes. So they only have 5 rush attempts between Chase Brown and Samaje Perine. That's a rush attempt. Let's go. That's a rush attempt. I mean, we'll take rush attempts any way we can get it. And now they're set up to maybe they could run again. And they did. Let's go. Yeah, we're not getting the attempts that we have been getting from other teams, but if we can still get attempts better than what we've been seeing from the Bengals, we'll call that a win. Are they going to go for it? They are. This has to be a rush attempt, yeah? It is. Alright. And they might run the ball a little bit more, considering where they're at in the field. That might lean into some extra runs. And it did, just not successfully. Swat it down. Dang it. Alright, I gotta pause quick. because I want to see just Chase Brown to get some carries there. We need to look at... Ooh, he is taking quite a bit. This is important because we're going to go into half. We need to look how this looks. Samaje Perine has 2 carries, hasn't been on the field in a while. He is fully recovered. Chase Brown just had a bunch of carries, was on the field, and he's pretty hurt. Let's see how it looks when we come back, most likely after the half. Oh, right before the half. All right, let's just take a look. Are we making progress here? He didn't recover there. But we do have per play recovery very, very low. Yeah, if they hit more holes, that'd be really nice. You know, and we're trying to get there. I mean, it's been better. You're still going to see them, you know, miss some holes that as a user we would hit. But they have been doing moves a little bit more. All right, let's get through here. And we're going to take a look. We get the ball first. We should have just had a bunch of halftime recovery. And let's see if we had the halftime recovery kick in. Fingers crossed. Oh, big run from Chase Brown. They're killing us on, like, we're running these zones. They're kind of killing us on it. I'm going to try to run some man here. I don't like it because of their wide receiver core, but they're killing us on these zones, so I got to try to switch it up and go a little bit of man. I want to call my own plays. I need to get some pressure on Joe Burrow, too. Hand it off to the fullback there? That's certainly... I'm going to shade underneath. And we're manned up. Uh-oh. What a dot. That's Joe Burrow, man. That's a dot. Good run defense. We're gonna stay in this man. Kind of gotta. And they run it in for a touchdown. There we go. Pressure is going to be key to getting to Joe Burrow. We need Myles Garrett to do his thing. Need to throw some coverage shells in here. 3rd and 10. Wanted to throw a stud and I didn't have time. Got the stop. We'll check wear and tear next time. Now, I don't know if they're giving carries to Pirine because of their formation subs, like he set the power back, or if that was just a natural rotation. Hardly any time went off. We're going to take a look at the... That's not so bad. He's got none. He's moderate, and he should get a boost from a quarter. I don't know how many carries he's got. Touches. Let's take a look here. We should get the quarter recovery boost. He has 9 carries. He already has more carries than he did the entire game against me. These were designed runs. Design run. I mean, it's the Bengals. Is it the way other teams were running the ball? No. Is it more than it was before? Yeah. He also has 2 touches here on catches. So ultimately he does have 11 touches, and he's got a moderate wear and tear, which is honestly, 11 touches moderate. If you translate that to 20 touches, it'd be probably sitting pretty good. And hopefully gets a couple more touches here before the quarter. Oh no. And then he gets that quarter bump, you know what I mean? This is a run. You can tell from that play, it's a run every time. It's a run. Counts as a run. Hey man. It's not like the way the Steelers... Okay. That's another run. Quarterback draw? No, I mean, damn. It's another touch for Chase Brown. I don't think they're going to run another place. This is what I want to do. They ran 4 verticals right there. How stupid. So we want to look at what his wear and tear is before the quarter kicks in. He's moderate. -5, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Yo, Hollywood, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you coming through, my guy. So, alright, this is his wear and tear right here. I don't think they'll run another play before, and then we'll see what the quarter, what it looks like coming in the 4th. They did run another play, and they gave it to him. That's actually perfect that they didn't score. I did a little NCAA 14 revamped on the channel, man, but there's no reason for me to go back there now with College Football 26. There's just not. So we should have the quarter. Hey. He got some. I might increase quarter up a little bit more. But he definitely got some. We'll take a look at their next possession and see. He got a carry. I said next possession. I thought they'd... I'm an idiot. Boom. Hey, man. Bengals might be passing the test as the final boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks like they might be passing it. All right, let's take a look at Chase Brown here. One thing we can say for sure is that Chase Brown is not out of the game yet. And he's in the fourth quarter. And he is pretty high. So I think, honestly, there needs to be probably a little bit of an increase at halftime, a little bit of an increase for quarter. Recovery. But he's still in the game in the fourth quarter, which is a huge improvement. And he does have touches, right? Remember, we had Jaylen Warren disappear from the game after 17 touches, did not come back. 17 touches, keep that number in mind. Chase Brown has 14 carries. He is still in the game. And then when you look at touches, he has 3 receptions. So he has 17 touches, the same as Jaylen Warren. Chase Brown is still in the game in the fourth quarter. Jaylen Warren, was out pretty much the entire second half. Once he hit those 17 touches, he never came back. And Chase Brown is still running the rock. And when you look at how many guys truly get this amount of touches in a game, honestly, the wear and tear is probably in a good spot for the fourth quarter. Now that I'm thinking about this a little bit more, there's not a lot of backs that get 20 touches or 20 carries in a game anymore. Oh my God. At least consistently. It'll happen every now and then, but it's not consistent every single week. He's out here in the fourth quarter. He is over 20 touches now. I mean, we might have got an improvement. Now, is he subbing out, rotating like we were hoping he would? No. But are we getting rid of the players disappearing in the fourth? I mean, so far. I need to be in man. I need to be in man. I switched. I audible to a blitz. I think that's the first sack we have on Joe Burrow. All right, see how Chase Brown looks. A little bit of recovery there per play, not a ton. He's pretty high risk of injury. Didn't get much recovery there at all. He didn't really even take any hits there. Samaj appearance, none. What's his touches at? $18 carries. He's at 21 touches. It's probably a little high for the wear and tear, but he's moderate, so he's still in the game. And there's another run. Timeout, so he's going to get that timeout recovery. Although I nerfed the timeout recovery. P. Ryan's in. Oh no. I just choked that. Jeez. He's back in. Hey y'all, we might have found it. That's a run. I mean, he's got a lot of touches. And he's staying in the game. In the fourth quarter. Piran's coming in now. A little bit. Uh-oh. Make a play. Good defense. We are not running man here. My goodness. Coach suggestions. Cover 3 buzz match. Yeah. This isn't an easy field goal either. Oh, he went deep. Good defense, Denzel Ward. He has Chase and Higgins as his wide receivers, and he goes deep to a running back. And honestly, I don't know why you're going deep there. You need about 8 yards to be in a good field goal position to win the game. All right, pause, quick. Because we're going to go to, this is going to go to overtime, which is going to be a quarter recovery. So let's take a look at where we're at here. He's going to have quarter recovery. He's high. -10, -9. He's tapped out for the game. When you look at the touches. Also, by the way, regulation, Joe Burrow, 74%. I mean, we literally played every single game. I think we went through 5 games, didn't make a single slider change to see how the quarterback completion percentage and their run pass ratio looked. 0 changes. Joe Burrow, 17-23. We've sacked him 1 time. So it's really 24 pass attempts, 73%. These are all designed runs. Even if you don't include that, they have 24 designed pass attempts, 19, 20, 23 designed runs. We know that he ran quarterback draws and options, so they're literally a 50-50 split on run pass ratio. If anything, it's a slight edge to the run, like a 58 to, like a 55 to 45. Chase Brown's up to 19 carries. He's at 22 touches. And his wear and tear is pretty extreme for the end of the game, as it should be. Like I said, I might bump up quarter just a little bit here. But now we're going to take a look at him. Piran's in. We're in overtime here. What's crazy is it simmed all the way through. I didn't get to do the coin flip or nothing. It just simmed, which is weird to me. He didn't recover at all. So he might have tapped out into his in-game. He might be tapped out on his recovery. He's got to be tapped out. So we're close though, y'all. Yeah, he's out now. It took overtime to knock Chase Brown out of the game. 22 touches. We're right there. you know, all these plays are happening and he's not recovering. So what I'm curious on is, did he's just tapped into he's out of the recovery pool, right? There's just nothing left for him to recover. Because he's not... We're going to test this right now. -10, -9. He's not recovering anything. I'm on 75. We're going to call a timeout. If he should recover some on the timeout. Unless it's... he's maxed out how much he can recover. He's maxed out how much he can recover. So that's again where we're in the issue of he's accumulating more wear and tear than he can recover. We definitely made an improvement. I'm getting hot here. And now I don't know if the way to continue to improve it, right, would be to lower the in-game and increase core. Like, I don't know if it's simply just lower in-game reserve so he doesn't recoup as much earlier and stretches it out longer. Because he still wasn't rotating in and out. Like, we made all those changes to have him take more wear and tear, thinking that, okay, that would cause him to sub out a little bit more and rest. That didn't work like that. So the question is do we lower in-game... I'm going to call another timeout and just verify all those plays just happened. We've had overtime, we've had 2 timeouts now, and he's not recovering one bit. And if we increase not recovering one bit. If we increase the in-game reserve pool, I think that's just going to keep him on the field longer instead of going out. I think it's going to be lower in-game healing, but increase the quarter in halftime. What would really help, honestly, is if they just did rotations. Like, that would be ideal, because if you're running the guy down until he's hurt and he's just diving into the in-game reserve pool to stay in the game instead of subbing out to recoup and then coming back in, the fatigue's already lower, Todd. We're on competitive style. Like, fatigue is almost non-existent. So it's not that. After overtime, Joe Burrow still below 80%. Had a couple extra completions, not halftime, overtime. But I would say, for those of you who are curious, the Bengals are the final boss. Do you all think we passed them? Do you think we beat the final boss? Remember, all of Joe Burrow's runs were designed. There wasn't a single scramble here. All design runs. We only sacked Burrow one time And it was when I audibled to that blitz. Man. Todd, you must be new here, fam. I use auto subs for gameplay. Auto subs impact gameplay. They don't work well for player rotations because you're going to run into the same thing. You set a player to sub in at, let's just do the standard, what everyone always did, 84 for running backs. Sub out, and they hit 84, sub back in, and they hit 89. Eventually, they get to a point where they don't hit, they can't get back up there from fatigue. The whole system needs a overhaul with EA, with player rotation. This is what I'm thinking. Right? So I think honestly, where we're sitting here was all pretty solid to build off of. What I'm thinking is lower this, increase these two. So what I would say to do like a +5, a +5, -10. I felt like we made an improvement because Chase Brown did make it to the fourth quarter on 22 touches. This was an improvement over all the other games where McCaffrey hit that, like, it was like that 14 to 17 touch range. Dunzo. Jalen Warren 17. Dunzo. We got 22 touches out of Jalen Warren, and this was the route that we went. So I'm thinking just increasing these, maybe lowering the reserve pool for how much you can pull between plays. Maybe that'll do something. I don't know, but I definitely felt like we made an improvement. And honestly, what more could we want from the sliders, man? We're trying to figure it out for Madden. They're not rotating out. That's what sucks. They're not rotating out at all. But for those of you who might not have been here, we tested defense only versus the CPU today against the 49ers. And they ran it a ton. I gotta screenshot this. And that was the 49ers. And then we did the Bears, which this one was weird because they didn't have a lot of plays. But when you look at, there was 2 design runs here, 1 scramble, I believe. You look at the amount of rushing versus the passing attempts, and they didn't score single points around the whole game. It was still solid. And then we go against the Bills. All designed runs, over 20 rushes. Then again, this was one where James Cook at 13 was done for the game. Was out because of wear and tear. When we go to the Steelers, this one was pretty awesome. Over 30. Not a single quarterback in any of these games was over 80% completion percentage. These were, every single one of these was a designed run. So that's 24, 27, 28 runs from the Bengals. The Bengals. Which, by the way, fun story. When I played them week 1 on my old slider set, which is still up because I haven't been working on updating it, my all-pro slider set, Bengals, week 1, it's right here. Joe Burrow threw it 38 times. Chase Brown had 8 carries for 8 yards. They had 9 rushes total. Yesterday we played the Ravens. They ran it over 30 times when I played them on my previous slider set. Henry had 11 for 13, and Lamar had 5 for 77. I think 3 of these were scrambles, 2 were designed. Either way, they ran over 30 times on the new slider set. Anyway, guys, I think we have locked in the slider set for All Madden. So we've locked in the All Pro set. We've locked in the All Madden competitive set. So I'm going to drop those videos. What I'm going to do is, for those of you who are here, I'm not going to go through both slider sets. I'm just going to go through the All Madden competitive one for you guys as a thank you for coming in for the stream. I will be dropping, of course, the video where I break down everything. But in the main menu, and again, I'm only going to touch on the main things, right? So the main menu, we're on All Madden Simulation. As we go down here, injuries 25, fatigue 50, player speed parity is 100, precipitation. I'm actually done. Is user preference, but this is what I have, and then the movement needs to match, which is 100 to go with the threshold. And then the main menu, nothing with penalties. Player skill needs to be 0. CPU skill needs to be 0. Save this. This is important. It's 100% impacts gameplay in franchise mode. I had people test it. I had 5 different people test player at 0 versus 100 versus the CPU when they were the opposite. And just the differences all aligned. I did that to make sure we just got a bunch of variables and removed placebo. These matter when you're playing on all default in franchise, but you have these set either 0, 50, 100. It matters. So 0 them out. Save the file. I have now started setting stuff here in the main menu. It just makes it easy. It goes right in. Halfback, as you can see, we're supposed to be on keep fresh. They're not doing it. You don't have to do anything with wear and tear in the main menu here because it's all personal preference for the sub strategies. What you need to, what you can do is set the auto subs, which these are the auto subs for offense. This does matter. Auto subs impact gameplay. I use them very specifically with my slider set for that reason. So you're probably going to want to timestamp this because I'm going to just run through the video quick, or screenshot it if you're on your phone. And these are the auto subs for the defense. And what I didn't realize this until someone pointed it out. When you set all this stuff in the main menu, it'll automatically come in for you on your franchise. I did not know that. So might as well. I've been rocking with it. Everything you've seen is everything set in the main menu. So that's how I'm going to roll with it. And then when we go into franchise here, let's get over here. You need to set your auto subs. I don't need to show them again, but make sure that they're in there. Make sure whatever you set in the main menu is in here. And then franchise settings, all you need to do here is, all I'm showing is All Madden competitive. I have the All Pro set, which is on simulation, but again, I'm not gonna, we're on the competitive. I'm not messing with anything else right now. Oh, I have this set wrong. I was wondering why I wasn't getting, why I was able to run the same plays over and over and over again. I think I have that at 5 actually, I don't remember. Oops. Anyway, that's irrelevant. What matters here is All Madden competitive, and wear and tear is again user preference. The other thing that matters here is superstar abilities turned off. They do impact gameplay and they're arcading. So make sure those are off. Everything else is up to you as far as preference goes. Then the only thing that matters here is actually user settings. Turn AI wide receiver for user teams off. This makes a huge difference. I had it on all year, and then I saw a tweet from Mills about a tweet from another dude that did testing on this, and it's just so much better when it turned off. So make sure this is turned off for no user catching. Other than that, we're going to go here to gameplay sliders. You're going to hit reset. You're going to hit import from the main menu. They're going to all be 0. You're going to set them all to 50 for the player and the CPU, with pass defense reaction 75, pass coverage at 25. Player and CPU are the exact same. Everything else is 50. Special teams is 100% user preference. This is what I have. The injuries, fatigue, speed threshold, and physics, which is at 75, will pull in from the main menu. Precipitation again is user preference, so I'm not wasting time on that. Penalties. Use penalties to manipulate gameplay. This is important. Offsides, false start holding, all 99. Face mask is 0. DPI, this has been huge. Shout out to Jay, I believe. 47 is where we kind of locked it in yesterday. This is very, very sensitive in run pass ratio and coverage. 47 is the sweet spot. I'm not changing it. Illegal block in the back, 99. Intentional grounding on now. I know I've been off on this for a long time. On with roughing the passer at 0 is just, you guys saw it, man. We never, the most sacks we had today was 4. We got Joe Burrow once. We had Aaron Rodgers 2. I mean, considering we had Myles Garrett on our front 4, we didn't have any crazy sack numbers at all. And then running the kicker is 0. And again, the only penalties that I'll actually get called here are false start offsides. Ineligible man downfield can get called. It's not an option here. Roughing the kicker, I think, doesn't even get called. So that's the sliders. I'm going to make the video. That's going to go members only, but I appreciate you guys for, hanging with me on the live stream. It's kind of a, just a thank you to get early access to what is normally a members thing for watching the live stream. Otherwise, I'm going to make the video. I think these are set. I think they're set well. We proved that in the last 4 hours. That's for dang sure. So, thank you guys so much. I'm going to try to figure out the wear and tear a little bit more. That's about the only thing. But again, not required to use my wear and tear or my precipitation sliders with the set. Those are user preference. But I'm going to continue to try to build the wear and tear out and try to get something there. But that's just going to be a bonus on everything else. So, with that being said, y'all, we're going to wrap up the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And until next time, peace.